Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharp. I've already run through almost every future odds that the sportsbook have to offer for all 32 teams here in the NFL this offseason. And with just about a month away from the preseason start, I'm set here to give you my offseason offensive previews here for all 32 teams in the NFL. But we're going to start it off with some offseason grades here for these offenses, and we're going to kick it off here with the AFC East and the New England Patriots. Now, the New England Patriots last year, a very dynamic offense, 4th in the league in passing, 7th in the league in rushing, thanks to a big year from Stephen Ridley, who's one of the only bright spots they have returning from last year, as they have a lot of question marks heading into this season. Most notably, of course, is Aaron Hernandez, but after Tom Brady threw for almost 5,000 yards last year in 2012, is he going to be able to do it again? He's lost over 3,000 of those yards in guys leaving for free agency, or of course Aaron Hernandez being arrested. Wes Welker is now on the Denver Broncos. Aaron Hernandez is of course in jail. Brandon Lloyd is gone. He had over 900 yards receiving last year. And of course even Danny Woodhead, who had about 450 yards receiving, is gone now with the San Diego Chargers. So a lot of question marks here on the New England Patriots offense. My offseason grade for them so far right now is a C-, and a little bit of that is beyond their control, of course, with the question marks surrounding Gronk, and of course with the likely no more Aaron Hernandez on that team. However, really the only thing that's keeping the New England Patriots from failing right now is their signing of Danny Amendola. Hopefully he can stay healthy, and hopefully the Patriots can get some production from other pieces of this offense. But right now their offense is looking a lot shakier than it did this time last season. The Miami Dolphins have been doing their best to improve their offense. Wasn't that good last season, ranked 26th in passing yards, 17th in rushing yards. With Reggie Bush now departed and in Detroit, Ryan Tannehill is going to have to take on a lot more of this offense here in this second season. He only had 12 passing touchdowns last season as opposed to 13 interceptions, so obviously that has to improve. But a lot of that was because he didn't have a whole lot of weapons in the wide receiving core, and that's changed a little bit this offseason as the Dolphins have been trying to beef up that area. They signed Dustin Keller to play tight end, they got Brandon Gibson, and of course Mike Wallace to play wide receiver. So those three guys especially going to help improve this pass game tenfold from where it was last season. Tannehill did have 3,300 passing yards. I think a lot of comparisons between him and Ben Roethlisberger have been coming around. But right now I'm giving the Dolphins right now a B+. The only thing we really have to concern right now with them, besides Tannehill's second season, is their running back core. Right now, they don't really have a starting running back after Reggie Bush. They're going to throw some guys in there in the preseason like Lamar Miller and others and see who can really fit into that spot and hold down that role. But if they don't have anybody to play running back this season and play running back effectively, Ryan Tannehill will not be any more effective than he was in his rookie season. The New York Jets, one of the biggest laughingstocks of the entire NFL, and I think it's going to continue on to that into the preseason and the regular season. They ranked 30th out of 32 teams in passing yards last season, 12th in rushing yards, but of course that was because of Sean Green, who is now gone from that team, so I expect their rushing numbers to take a hit just a bit. And of course the biggest story was Mark Sanchez and his 32 turnovers from a season ago, 18 interceptions and 14 fumbles. They still don't have a quarterback situation solved, even with Sanchez or whoever it's going to be, Geno Smith. I don't expect things to get much better than it was a season ago. The offensive line is still a big question. They don't really have that many wide receivers outside of Santonio Holmes. And as I mentioned, the rushing game could take a hit. However, I do like Chris Ivory coming in and being able to play the running back slot. However, I'm giving them a D+ in their offensive grades. They did sign a few key guys. They got Willie Colon from Pittsburgh to play the offensive guard position. They got Kellen Winslow re-signed, they got Kellen Winslow, so that should help the tight end position after the loss of after the loss of Dustin Keller. So all in all, the Jets probably not going to have a whole lot of upside this season on offense. They signed Mike Goodson to try to help out that running back slot. However, he looks like he's not going to get to play this season after his legal troubles. So all in all, the Jets probably a pretty bad offensive team once again. Buffalo Bills are our final team in this division. They ranked 25th in passing yards and 6th in the NFL in rushing last season. With Ryan Fitzpatrick gone, now it falls on to E.J. Manuel or Kevin Cobb, and that's really the biggest question heading into this season for the Buffalo Bills is what their quarterback situation is going to look like. Have a lot of weapons around them. Have a great offensive line, a couple of great running backs. Stevie Johnson is a fantastic receiver. They have the weapons as long as they can get the ball to them. I think the Bills will have a little bit of upside here on offense. Obviously, the QB issue is a question mark. However, the usage now between C.J. Spiller and Fred Jackson also going to be an issue heading into the preseason for this team. Doug Marone, a different coach obviously from last year with Chan Gailey. However, there still could be that timeshare issue which really hampered, I think, both running backs' production last season. All in all, I'm giving the Bills offseason grade of C here. I think they could have done a little bit worse and a little bit better. But all in all, they did a lot. They focused a lot more on defense this offseason, so if I was giving defensive grades, I'd definitely give them an A. However, they've definitely given more focus to that side of the ball because they already have a lot of good weapons on the offensive end. That'll do it for the offensive grades here for the AFC East. Make sure you check out all 4 of these teams a little bit more in depth in their single article and video picks. However, until then, thanks for joining me once again. I'm Jordan Sharp.